Hi, it's your girl Black Barbie, and I'm alongside
Shiny,
Arlene,
Michelle,
and Mackenzie, and this is
Uncensored.
This is unbiased talk by intelligent, opinionated women engaging in thought-provoking, riveting conversations with incredible guests. News, views, and interviews all collide right here on
Uncensored. This is the social circle where we'll be talking about trending topics. This is also brought to you by Runway, the Salon, Inc. So I know everybody must have seen the Gully Bop video that went out with Miss Chin.
Yes.
What's your take on it, Arlene?
Well, I just learned that Gully Bop was a real person.
interesting.
No, I've heard the name, but I had no idea until I went to Jamaica last week. And I realized it was an actual person. And he actually has music out.
Yes.
So when I learned about the Miss Chin and, my friends were talking about it and trying to fill me in. And my take on it is, I thought Miss Chin never really, I think she took him, clean him up, and it was all about if he makes money, she gets it. That's what I think, because I really don't think she really wanted it.
Wait, after all, here's my take on this. I can't be with a man who has no teeth. Kiss him up and all that and say, Mommy, this is my man. So I think somewhere along the line, even if she had an ulterior motive to get famous from him, somewhere along the line she must have cared about him.
Yeah, she fell in love.
She had to have fallen in love with
along
him.
the line.
But I think to me the motive is, just like you said, why with a guy that has no teeth or whatever.
Come from the gully?
And it's okay coming from the gully, but it's not where you're from sometimes, it's where you go and where you are. But my thing is, I think she thought he would have been so grateful that he would totally repay her.
But my issue is, I feel like people, is looking at it as, Shauna Chin is the one who made Gully Bop famous, which is far from the truth. It was somebody who videoed him, and that video actually went viral, and Shauna Chin just stepped in after and tried to basically capitalize on what she know will be a success, which he was. So I don't feel like she did it, even though people is trying to give her credit. No, she just saw something and run with it, because she was also affiliated with the whole Vibes Cartel camp, like promoting Tommy Lee and all that kind of good stuff. However, she's just a capitalist. That's all she was. Yes, I think she fell in love, somewhere along the line, because I can't believe nobody could kiss or suck somebody's tongue out the way she does.
Really?
Yeah.
Her emotion.
I just don't believe any of it. I think it's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It shouldn't be on the news, and look at the guy.
Well, we love him because he symbolized. He symbolized not giving up, keeping hope alive. Like don't kill your dreams just because you may reach a certain age, because success can reach you when it's your time, and he motivates people. And I think he's a great story. He's something that I could look up to. You come from the gully having nothing. Almost went crazy, maybe on drugs, and then now you're touring the world. You're seeing places that you never dreamt you would ever be, come to America. He basically defied all the odds. And I think he has a great story. It's sad the way it's playing out right now, because of course we were expecting that she was really there for love and it would be good. But if we actually follow the story and listen, she said on a few interviews that because he always brought her to the bank with him because he didn't know how to use his card, and he wasn't doing it anymore, I feel like she felt insecure and then started to look at him a different way, say, oh, he's learning how to do things now on his own, he don't need me. And then she just built up this whole facade and just started to try to find a way how she could hold on to it, or say that, oh, you don't need me no more, it's time for me to go and let me keep something, let me get something out of this. And I think that's just the basis of what she did.
I am so confused.
Am I the only one finding something really wrong with this picture?
I'm so confused, because my take on this is, if she loved him, loved, she's gonna love him whether he has teeth or no teeth. She's gonna love him whether he has money or no money. And whether he's taking her to the bank or not taking her to the bank anymore, that shouldn't change her feelings.
But that's if she had true feelings. If she really was in love with him and her intention was good, it wouldn't change her feeling. It wouldn't bring us to this point that we are at right now, because she sings a song where she said she will never leave him.
But
She put that out there. So why is it now it's an issue where you say that you're not together anymore and he's stealing stuff from out his own home? How can a person steal their own things?
But what I heard while I was there is that she started buying, when she realized that he was acting out, she started buying 2 of everything: a TV for the house and 1 for herself. A TV, a fridge.
And who does that when you're in love?
This is what I'm saying. So I'm saying it's all about money, because that's the conversation in Jamaica.
But you see, the thing is, this what she said, and it could be that she was creating a nest for herself, in the sense that she's saying that she was being abused. After a certain time, he was getting very physical with her, and he was also getting verbal with her, and she couldn't take it.
But shouldn't she be ashamed of herself in the first place to be involved with somebody that looked like that and would put his hand on her?
If she loved, it doesn't matter.
Don't tell me about
It doesn't matter.
She
If you love somebody,
She
you take
did
them
not
how they
love
are.
him.
Yeah.
Her motive was simple as this: take this horrible looking guy from the ghetto with no teeth, or from the Grandstand Gully, wherever he's from, make him in, when she saw that thing
Just
went viral,
clean
clean him up,
presentable. That's
and
what she
he's
said.
going to be ever so grateful, and they would live.
But she should have put
would
teeth in
live
his
happily
mouth.
ever after
She should have
with
put
his
teeth in his
money.
mouth.
It just backfired.
Yeah,
That's all.
He didn't like how it felt.
Yeah, he did get
He
teeth.
did, but I would beg to disagree.
It
Hold on.
backfired. Simple.
But Arlene, I would beg to disagree. I didn't think he was ugly.
That was just
It doesn't
his teeth.
teeth. That was
Yeah,
just
He's not an ugly man.
Yeah.
It's just the hard times. But, no, seriously.
Call it what you will. Her plan backfired.
Not
Yes,
really, because
that's
her
it.
song Padlock could still get played. People are like, oh, you're right, the chin track and all of that.
No, I'm not talking about
But so she
the
still
music.
got
His
out.
music is playing, but the money part backfired. She just didn't get it.
All right, so right now, basically, they're both benefiting from this whole event that transpired, which we could say kudos and congratulations to Gully Bop and Chin. She has a record deal now. She's doing her own music, and Gully Bop has 2 hits from it: Blessings, of course, and Delilah. So it's really good for them. But we say congratulations, Gully Bop and Shauna Chin. Do your thing. But right now, we're gonna move it right along, and we're gonna get on Dexter now. His new pictures that got leaked. Did anybody see the pictures?
I didn't see, but I kind of hear
He was
something.
blessed, ladies. He was really
Again, I
blessed.
have no idea who Dexter
Dexter Dapp.
that is.
He's a Jamaican dancehall artist, of course, that got his big break with his great international hit 7-Eleven. Basically, he's telling the females, if you have 10 man, in the business, he wants you same way. And also Jealous Over featuring Tifa. So he definitely got his break. Everybody's loving him. He is an eye candy without a doubt. His eyes are gorgeous. And of course, he is from Jamaica. But right now, he's definitely on a high in his career. And on his birthday, there is a European, what they call her, the groupie of the industry, because she has been affiliated with Bomb Tequila, a few other Jamaican well-renowned artists. And she recently leaked about 3 pictures with Dexter Dapp showing his good private stuff. And basically she was trying to embarrass him, because there's a picture where she was trying to pull up, I think, a female underwear on him. Yeah, while he was laying on bed. But he wasn't awake in any of the pictures. So, of course, she definitely did that for revenge.
But she's known for, from what I read, she's known for doing these kind of things with other dancehall artists.
But all I care about is, how was it?
Great. I felt like it backfired, because now every female
Wants to see
Dexter Dapp. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to have to go look him up.
But
Yes.
we know how these pictures leak normally affects their career. Just make it better.
But normally in the Jamaican community, it wouldn't. It kind of brings shame on the artist. That's more like an American way that, once a say go out.
Isn't this the 21st century though?
Well, it's changing, but I could tell you if that picture he wasn't like, well endowed, it wouldn't have worked, But it definitely worked for him, and like I said, I feel like it boosted. Now the girls really will be tearing. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Will he be able to keep his clothes on when he's at these shows? Because these females are already tagging on him, and then now to know that that's in there, they're gonna be smacking like that.
Go Dexter to that.
Definitely like it. But you guys just need to check it out and check out the picture on the internet because it definitely circulates. And
As
big up
soon
yourself, Dexter.
As soon as I get up.
Yes. All the way. All right. So, you know, all the females, she's jealous over, in good stuff. But let's move it right along. Let's talk about Faye and Lion. Did you guys see the video that went viral? She was talking about how there's no support for the soca music. I know you were, in that area. What you felt about that?
For me, big up Faye Lines if you're watching. I think what she said was taken out of context. She was at a concert, and anybody who watches or knows Faye Lines, she speaks her mind on the spot. And she's very aggressive when she's ready. And in the video, she's very aggressive, telling people they could kiss her behind if they don't appreciate what she has to say. It's an ongoing battle in the soca scene. There's power soca. There's so many different genres of soca that for me, I think it's getting out of hand because you can't market the music that way. You have pop soca, raga soca, groovy soca, now Afro soca, and I thought the whole purpose of soca music was because of having African music derived with calypso to make soca. So now you have Afro soca. It's redundant if you have to ask me that. And I think the point that she's making that people are not supportive enough. Yes, power soca, in most cases it's jump and wave and drink your rum and enjoy and chipping down the road. But that's the essence of carnival. Carnival is having fun. Whereas, let's say a groovy soca is more, or a raga soca, it's more about telling a story of love or my girlfriend leaving me, so it's a horn or tune, something to that effect. But the point that she's making is there's not enough support within the industry. And I think when I was reading reggae, dancehall reggae has the same problem, or is it conscious reggae? I'm not too sure. I'm too familiar with it because I'm still reading up on it. Where I did see a couple of artists say conscious reggae is dying out and more dancehall music is becoming more popular. So, but if you want to make a comparison, you could look at dancehall music versus conscious reggae, and you could say calypso versus soca in the sense that power soca is dying out. Most artists want to get that longevity and they want to get recognized internationally. So they cling to a groovy soca or a raga soca because it tells more of a story and you could move over into another genre such as pop or whatever the case may be.
So my question is, I'm curious, is it that they're trying to have different genres within the soca and they're not accepting that, there could be a division, like they want it to be one soca? Like we have reggae and dancehall in Jamaica. What is it that?
I think what it is, everybody's trying to make a quick million or get famous as quickly as possible. So they come up with these different genres to get themselves out there in that sense. You have power soca, which is the initial essence of carnival, like I said before, where you have, that's the main road music. When you get your road march, it comes from that power soca. That's where you get that vibe, with that vibrance, and you want to move down the road. Whereas the groovy soca can do that too. Don't get me wrong, groovy soca can do it, but it doesn't have that instance as to what they say power soca is. If you leave it up to me, soca is soca. I'm not giving you a power soca, groovy soca, afro. No, soca is soca. We're gonna market soca to the best of our ability. Every island has its own style. In Dominica, you have bouillon music. In Grenada, you have jab jab. In Trinidad, you have soca. In Barbados and St. Vincent, you have raga soca. So it all depends on where you come from. It's all a fusion. Her point being that we're losing that essence. We're not putting that support back. Trinidad Carnival, Trinidad music this year alone, most of the hits came from the small islands, as they like to label it. And the small islands being Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and all the other islands that don't have a 1.2 million population. So that's where the essence of that came from. I think it's a bias, and where she's coming from, she just wants people to know you have to support your own, you have to support your people. If we're not supporting power soca, it's gonna die. People say it's dying already. So if you let it die, then we lose the essence of what carnival is.
So couldn't it just be the trending, like whatever song is popular?
And I was going to say, wouldn't it also be the creativity? Yeah. Because if there's not creative, what was the song?
There's power soca, groovy, and raga.
Okay, the one that's dying. I'm sorry, the one that's dying.
Power soca.
Power soca is dying, and it means so much that maybe they should be creating more power soca. I mean, I don't think it would be fair for the other genres
To
people
be
labeled, oh, all these genres. What about if you're interested in power soca and other persons and artists who are, then they need to create more music and music that wants people to be
to dance.
dance with,
Yeah.
And it's being done. It's just that Trinidad itself wasn't or doesn't have that much power soca. Trinidadians themselves who are creating soca music, it's more groovy music that they created.
So what would Marshall Montana, what would his music
This
be
year
called?
alone, he came out with more EDM songs. His songs sounded more like EDM as opposed to a typical power soca.
So don't you feel like an artist should at least get the freedom to be creative with their music?
Right. I
and
feel
put
an
out what
artist
they-
should. Here's my take on it. I feel an artist should be creative. I feel music evolves all the time. Don't get me wrong. Music always evolves, and I
That
think
will sound like you're stuck.
That's what I'm getting.
no. I feel like, and this is my point. It's like dancehall. The whole thing with dancehall music. You have the attire. You have the dancehall queen where she represents the new dance moves, and she has her costume and all of that. With power soca or soca in general, the music is supposed to vibrate you. It's supposed to make you move and say, yo, I have to play mass. I have to buy that ticket to go down to Trinidad or Grenada or St. Vincent. And if it's not giving you that inspiration to do that, then it comes like you have a problem.
Well, Clare dancehall is less expensive because all you need is a pair of shorts. You know, you can just dance.
Yes.
You know what I'm wearing is good.
Yeah.
You see also the level of where reggae music and dancehall music is as opposed to soca and calypso is two different levels. You guys have that international market, whereas we're trying to capture that international market, get that Grammy. You're on that plateau where you're being recognized, nominated for reggae music. Soca music is still catching its identity, and I think when you have all these different genres, you lose the essence of what you stand for.
I would disagree with that because if you think about reggae in the essence, when it, maybe 20 years ago, we would always think of the conscious reggae. And
Bob Marley,
and Bob Marley and all of that. But if you look at now, Beanie Man is dancehall, even though he has a conscious side, and he has gotten a Grammy. So
Gucci started out dancehall,
yes,
and then you got his
evolving.
conscious side.
So it's evolving. So I'm sorry, based on the interviews, you can see I'm the person who is kind of outside me and Arlene. Let me talk to Arlene. Outside that we are not aware of what's going on in the music, but you would at least think that we would want it to evolve.
Yes.
And not be stuck in a box.
Yeah.
Because for me,
To old
when I
traditions,
think
that's what it sounds
soca
like.
is from primary school when you dance feeling hot, hot, hot.
Still, yeah. I can understand.
That's soca to me. You remember in primary school you have
Yes.
these performances
Yes,
and you
yes.
come out feeling hot, hot, hot in the Jamaican color clothes.
Different now.
But my thing is, I think because you yourself, who is a part of that culture and know the soca music, know the different genres, because I didn't know, and you're just educating me on it right now. Everybody on the outside just look at it when they hear the music and just think soca.
Exactly.
You don't
My
really
niece
see-
is 24 years old and this year. And you cannot play it around. She said, oh my God, I can't stand it. It's just the same boom,
Beat, the
boom,
beat is-
boom. And she just does
And
not
it's
want to
not.
hear it.
Yeah.
It's different.
The beat, because
Each
once you
island
never
has their own
change it.
sound. Each island has their own sound. I guess you could say if you're listening to the music, then you can identify. All right, that's from Dominica. That's from Haiti.
tell.
Or
The only
It's so bad I
the only
can't
difference
tell
I can
here.
tell is compa from Haiti. That's the only difference. And because it's a slower beat, that's the only thing.
I think I can tell a little difference, and also in the music, in how they articulate the words, you can hear a little bit of difference. But if you say to me which island it is, I have no clue.
I would just say, when you get a chance, if you're not familiar with it, then Google what groovy soca is, raga soca is, what soca is, and power soca is versus calypso, and get the gist of that. And you're free to comment, send us a message, send me a message, Shandy_sweet on Instagram. I'm all for it.
Thanks for the education, because to me,
Yes.
soca was just soca.
Soca, yes. I'm about to say. All right, so let's move it right along and let's talk about Just Stone. Who knows Just Stone, the artist Just Stone right now? Because she's being recognized
On
as
Billboard.
reggae, yes, on the Billboard charts as a reggae artist of the year. Like she's basically taken a stance where we like our own Jamaican artists to actually be in the place of. So everybody is voicing their opinion. I know personally,
Could you
you
give
know,
us a little background first?
yeah,
Where's she from?
Well,
England, right?
England, yeah. And basically, what happened is, since that whole post of her being put in that position for reggae music with all our reggae artists that we have, there was a comment that was made by Caribbean media that I believe, she failed to get the recognition that she needed for it. She did act a few celebrities, including Bounty Killer, that was in it, amongst many other prestigious artists. And of course, he retweeted, of course, on Instagram, which we definitely commend him for, because that was definitely a good thing that he did, because it brought awareness, because he has such a bigger media platform. However, he failed to give credit where it's due, and of course, in the newspaper, they talk about it. But I do believe that, our own artists should definitely get the recognition. They put great music out there, but nobody is recognizing them. It's like if the authentic Jamaican is doing it, it's not good enough. But once, somebody that has more popularity, that's from a different culture, they get more recognition, they benefit. They basically reaping or benefits, which I think is so wrong right now.
But I was reading what Bounty said, and in the sense that he feels that exactly what you just said, Jamaica, when will the Jamaican government step in and put a stance and say, look, this is our music, we're gonna market it and make money off of it, rather than have somebody else from the outside benefit from it. He brought up, because first I thought
we're gonna correct that, because he did not say that. That was by Caribbean media.
Okay.
He just retweeted what she said, so that was her words.
So, because initially when I first read it, I thought it was a race issue, but then he brought up, or Carib media brought up Eddie Murphy, who also benefit from the reggae genre, and a couple of other artists as well that have benefit from it. So in a sense, if it's music, why should it just be Jamaica that gets?
Yes, but there's still a lack of support that is going for our reggae, for our community, where that's where we say that, how basically with music, there's a lot of royalties that's being, received by artists, different people, but of course our own Jamaican people, they're not reaping it. Like the industry, right? But the industry, and that's the thing. That's why I say the Jamaican government did step in the same way how they could step into Jamaica and they came and they built a lot of the radio stations for playing American music. It should be the same thing, vice versa. And it's not happening.
I disagree with that, because if the artists feel as if they're not being rewarded based on their work, they need to form together and what's the word I'm looking for? Create the like here in the United States, where they have the publishers' rights and all those organizations.
But that's
each individual. One of the issues that Jamaican musicians have had over the years, they want to do it all themselves. Get a lawyer. That's what entertainment lawyers are there for.
Yes.
And there's lots of good one out there. They're losing a lot of money. They've always been losing a lot of money. And even in today, the 21st century, when everybody can do for themselves, they're still losing tons of money.
Right.
Yeah, but that's where they're saying to have the government.
It's not the government
They need to step.
responsibility.
But at the same time, it's something that's coming from your country.
No, it's capitalist.
Okay, all right. So let me bring it back to this note. Now Jamaica, because you're saying that that's not Jamaica's business. Jamaica now is going to capitalize on anyone that does the jerk. The same way how they could actually, when you consider copyright, that when they do the jerk seasoning and all that kind of stuff and do it, now they have to pay Jamaica for it. If any company decides to do it, it's the same thing.
But reggae music came out of Africa, so you can't say it is Jamaican.
I never heard that one before.
It's an African, reggae is an African thing.
That's the first time I'm hearing that. I never heard that before. I never heard that before.
But all of our music come out of Africa.
Not unless
it
did not come
so we
from
can't
there.
say reggae is just Jamaican. You have reggae.
Well, where was
you have reggae.
No, but that is
Even the Spanish reggae.
that is just born in Jamaica. It is just
The beats came from the African drum.
The reggae beat. That's reggae.
No. The beats came from the African drum. And Jamaicans developed that, and that's how it became.
They developed the sound. They developed the sound. And it was actually the way how reggae actually came about. I forgot the name of the artist who was actually playing, like they recorded, and the rhythm actually went slow. And because of how slow it went, that's how the birth of reggae came about, where the way how the beats sound. And that's how it started. But it started from Jamaica.
So does this mean that no other country or nobody else should benefit from it?
Nobody is saying that, but at the same time, it should be a market that benefit the island of Jamaica. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap this up. And of course, this was our community conference. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But right now, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. So just keep where you got it. This is Uncensored.
That one on the Avenue D said it. Yeah, all the girls I love the phone thing, I love the magla. Just come check up on the corner. I want to tell you, so the number is 718-552-2050. Remember, straight up, don't miss it. 718-552-2050. And the number that for the link. I'm going to tell you, say, of 5003 Avenue D. Yo, yeah. Phone you a fix on the run, come see. Phone you a fix on the run, come see.
Welcome back. Today our in-studio guest is the Honorable Irwine Clare, founder of the Caribbean Immigrant Services and a man that wears several hats, which we'll be discussing today.
Our guest now is Irwine Clare, my friend. How are you, Irwine?
Quite well. First of all, let me say it's a distinct honor and privilege to be here on Uncensored. I'm not certain what that means, but we're going to find out soon, aren't we?
Absolutely, yes, definitely.
But it's great in here.
Yes. Of course, we're here to talk about some thought-provoking events that take place, of course, in our Caribbean community. And we know that you are very renowned in our area with that expertise. So
Not about the thoughts, not about the things
that happen, yes.
Not initiating them.
No, definitely you would not. But of course, we know that you are president for the CEO, basically, of Team Jamaica Big Club. So just for our viewers' sake, could you inform them just a little bit about that if they're not familiar with it?
Sure. First of all, let me say it's always an honor to be amongst our people and delivering information that is pertinent to our community. It's very important that we do that. And the question you asked me about Team Jamaica, because one may be saying, what the heck is bicker, right?
Yes.
It's a vernacular for food. A typical countryman come from the best parish in Jamaica. We need not debate that on this Uncensored.
And where is that?
That's what I'm talking about. It's an uncensored chatter we're going to have here. So it is actually St. Anne, the parish of Marcus Garvey, Bob Marley, marijuana, and me. You know, what can I say? so back then, for a person from the rural area, bakery is a commonality for us as it relates to food. When we migrated here to the United States several years ago, I was very much interested in track and field. And participate with my friends from Jamaica College, that is a powerhouse in track and field. We go to the Penleys on a yearly basis.
We would beg to differ about that powerhouse.
Yes, Camperdown, I imagine, is a spring factory in terminology, but not necessarily application. But the point here is that
that was very dear to my heart.
Back then, we would go down and see these artists perform at the Penleys. The question came up as to whether or not there's something we could do to assist them. To make a long story short, being president of Jamaica Progressive League, at that time, the Progressive League had an event that catered to our athletes, but it was like a feast for dead people. What I mean by that, it took place after the event. You actually need the nourishment before and during, right? And so we were able to find some ways to do that. We came back and struck up a dialogue, relationship with the Honorable, I should say, Dr. Vincent Hussein OJ, who is the proprietor and CEO of Caribbean Food and Light, and we struck a relationship with him for the past 22 years, which is a foundation where we now set up a massive tent of Penleys.
I've seen it.
That provides meals for our Jamaican athletes and our Caribbean athletes. So it's not just for Jamaican athletes, but we involve our Caribbean brothers and sisters with our meals, transportation, accommodation, and a safe environment for people picnic.
And when you say meals, it's actually meals because I think they are provided 3 meals.
Yeah, and cooked on site.
Yes.
Yes.
And I tasted some of it. and
Although
it's
she
quite
did not participate on the track.
She did eat.
Yes.
Irwine will tell you I find my way in.
And incidentally, ladies, that's one of the challenges we have to keep folks like my friend here from participating in the goodies for the kids. No kidding. It has become a kind of cause, wouldn't you say? A melting pot where persons come to the Penleys who are real track fans, supportive of our teams in the Caribbean, will congregate there. It is the meeting spot.
Yes, it is.
So to switch gears a little bit, could you please tell me what is the Jamaica Progressive League?
Okay, interesting, and I'm glad you brought it up because it's part of our history, which unfortunately is dying a slow death. The Jamaica Progressive League is one of the oldest Jamaican organizations in the United States, and it was founded back in 1936. And the forerunner, I should say, the whole independence and self-government movement for Jamaica actually has its genesis right here in Harlem, in New York. It was Jamaicans here who sat down and decided it was now time that we started to put in place the mechanisms for suffrage, for the whole movement of independence, and started right here. And hence the Jamaica Progressive League. It was that one shot. In fact, up to 1978, the Jamaica Progressive League was the only black commercial landlord in Midtown Manhattan, whereby they owned a building, I think it was at 57th near Fifth Avenue. Alright? It was where Bob Marley first played when he came to the United States. It was where the independence buzz of the era used to take place. It was that area, it was that, what do you call it, organization for all Jamaicans. Over the years, of course, it had lost its luster.
So does that have also to do with what was called the Jamaican Union?
That would have been part of it. You then had what's called the Jamaican Benevolent Associations and stuff like that, all those organizations. But the Progressive League was the foundation organization, was the organization from whence that Jamaicans were looking forward to participating in. And it is also the parent organization of the People's National Party, the National Workers Union, encouraging the formation of the Jamaican Labour Party. And even today, some of these politicians on both sides of the aisle in Jamaica found their genesis in the Progressive League when they were starting.
Okay, I know I'm so angry, but I have a couple more questions because I was reading about you, and maybe it's my loss, but until Kelly mentioned, I've never heard of you.
That's no problem.
And I want to know if there's so much, how is it that I've never heard of?
And that's
Is there something wrong with the marketing or?
No. You see, you must remember that we live in a society where we come here for varying reasons. But at the center of it all is that we're here to better the lives of our children.
Exactly.
Right? That's foundation,
Yes.
right? It is important that our children do better than we do. With that being said, we have had to take different avenues. My mother once said to me that it is okay to shovel SHIT because at the end of the day, you'll own the SHIT house. What does that mean? Sacrifices. So you find that some people will leave Jamaica who were normally socialized, and they come to the United States and they have to do different things. With that, those different things, and there's nothing illicit here, no. You're working for your family, there's nothing illicit about that. But it takes you away from your normal patterns of keeping abreast with what's taking place in Jamaica, keeping abreast with certain. And you have a different focus.
No, but I do keep abreast
but
of what's
I'm
happening.
ashamed I'm coming around to it.
What I'm trying to say, you provide an awesome, very important service.
Because we're in a large
just as
society.
though I don't know, there may be people who really need these services
Yes, and that is true.
that does not know about it.
That is true, and that's why Uncensored.
Yes, you have that platform.
You see? And that's why these situations are so critical because you must remember, in the United States, we do not own a radio station. We do not own a TV platform. These are the most, aggressive means of communication. In Jamaica, you're going to zone in, and let's go back to our time. We're going to zone into JBC or RGR. All right? Now, of course, you have a plethora of radio and talk programs, but there are programs generated towards that Jamaican community. here in the States, ABC, NBC is not carrying your news. It's not carrying your news. We're from that perspective. So this is groups like these. What is happening here now becomes so critical, and there's not sufficient. But we work with what we have, one step at a time. There are many others who are doing fantastic work out there that you and I don't even are aware of. But it is making the environment in which we live in.
And it's true. What I'm the word I'm looking for? Through mechanisms like this, that this information is released. And having an earlier conversation with you, I feel like you and I a lot of times, based on talking to Barbie and Shandy. I'm sorry, talking to Barbie and Shandy. We are almost as if we're on the outside looking in, and that's sad. Just as what you said, when we were in Jamaica, we would be maybe on top of everything. But
you mean in other words, in everybody's business?
Yes, but not necessarily.
I know,
But not necessarily in everybody's
but
business. But we're in these silos, and we are so focused on the silos. And for me, maybe my silo is my family, my environment. How can I do better, and not necessarily what else is going on in the community.
But let me ask you this though: how many people really know the persons who live beside you and names and all that kind of stuff?
No. But I guess that.
Yeah.
But when you talk about like we're living in our own silos, or I am totally interested and active in my Jamaican community. I just do it in Jamaica.
Okay.
I want a way to do it here. It's just that I could never get the information.
All right. Well, I'll tell you how it starts now. This is what, for the benefit of our audience, because you rightfully say there, we take things for granted too many times. Huh? You have a Jamaican consulate that is a Jamaican base for the government of people here in the United States. The consulate is located at 767 3rd Avenue, where you will get your passport, you can find out information about Jamaica. Supplementing that, you have what is called the Jamaican diaspora, which is an opportunity for Jamaicans in the diaspora to come together. But check this out now. We live in a world today where you gotta appreciate this. To find out something, you have to go out and get it. Yes. Nobody comes to you and spoon feeds you anymore. That's just the world we live in.
If it's important to you, you have to go out.
No, but to go out and get it, because I tried reaching the new president
of the
diaspora.
Okay.
I've left 3 messages so far.
We can help you correct that. All right, and it is sometimes you also have to understand another inhibitor. Not searching for excuses here, because I've been there. And people have made that criticism of me too. And that is, it's a voluntary situation. Right? There is no infrastructure where you say, well, somebody works on this 24 hours, 365 days. Although sometimes I feel I do that, but we can never cover all the bases. It is still voluntary. We're still in a transitional mode where we have to find that balance one, but also that mechanism that seeks to support what you've just said. Because you're absolutely correct. There are many people out there who we should be reaching, who we are not reaching. How do we devise that opportunity to do so? And again, it comes back to a situation like this. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time, but we have to be committed to it.
Do you have a social media account, Instagram, Facebook, that people can reach if they need some help?
Team Jamaica Baker has that. That is something we deal with young people. So we have a website, teamjamaicabaker.com. And of course the various Facebook sites out there. Plug in Team Jamaica Baker comes up. It's a household word within the athletic fraternity.
But the limitation of that is based on what Arlene said. Her being a Jamaican and out there, she has never even heard of this. But have you been to...
Let me ask Arlene, what's going on in Jamaica? What's going on in
Jamaica?
Arden, one of the academically acclaimed schools in Jamaica. They do have a track team that comes to the Premier League. That means you're not supporting them coming to the Premier League. That's not one. I'll put you on the spot. But I'm just saying though, what these are things. Did you know that your Rhodes Scholar was in New York recently? The top Rhodes Scholar is from Arden. She was in New York recently, celebrated in all the newspapers. So Arlene, I'm just saying there again. And you could also approach me to somebody from my school, but I don't know, but these are things that just fall through the crack. Yeah. It's happening. Get in touch with Dave Rodney, and you'll be connected.
And who is Dave Rodney?
Well, once she does her plug on, once you Google it, you know what I'm saying? You
See
Google
all the information, and then you will know.
Okay, so let's,
Very
my
true.
next question is, okay, so the Jamaican diaspora, what is its mission and its, and role?
Role? Okay. Basically, like all ethnic groups here in the United States, you see the power base that they have. Jamaica is one of those countries that its remittance to Jamaica rivals tourism. It's upwards of 18% of GDP. Significant number, which means it hovers around $2.5 billion. It means then that we have a significant diaspora, people outside of Jamaica, that is contributing to the livelihood of the nation. It is always any country's responsibility and an objective as to how to harness that power base to not just have it to be an ATM for remittance purposes, but how do we now also look at what we call intellectual remittance? You would have come to the United States and garnered academic and professional skill sets. How do those skill sets remitted to Jamaica assist one, but also providing you a path to participate in the economic progress of the nation, which today, ladies, are at a zenith. And those of us in the United States must begin to find ways to get involved. The diaspora structure provides those kind of organizations and those linkages, whether through JAMPRO, the Tourist Interest, the Exporters Association, the Private Sectors Association. These are all the tentacles. Jamaica, for example, and the Caribbean boasts one of the most prolific healthcare professional core of people. All right, healthcare is a challenge to us in the region. So you find that the healthcare sector remits upwards of $75 million a year in services and all that kind to Jamaica because of the type of healthcare missions. You hear of nurses and doctors going back home. That's very impacting on the nation. This is a prolific role. The same thing for education. Alumni associations, of which he's a member of Union of Jamaica Alumni Association, along with the Education Task Force, also has a program as to how it interdicts the challenges taking place in the primary basic school situation. So these are activities taking place as well as the economic team.
And in one of your speech, I was reading, and you made an interesting phrase, which I like. Maybe you could tell us about it, where you said that the brain drain has now become like a net gain.
Yes.
And I didn't get to read the
I stole it from somewhere.
I thought it was fancy.
No, I mean,
Until you get credit
from somewhere. So
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. You see, because the fun thing is that people who, like myself, who left our country for greener pastures, are now finding ourselves that we want to go back home. And we're going back home not just to sit on a rock stone and do nothing. We want to be involved. We want to take back what we've learned here in these United States, the better part of it, of course, to help build our nation. Because, it's one thing about when you live in the United States, you see the David and Goliath scenario plays out all the time. Huh? When you're in a situation where you sit back and you can see our musicians play. I heard from Richie Stevens just this past week that Rihanna did a little piece from one of his tunes and it's now gone platinum. And I'm saying to myself, damn, it's a Jamaican involved in that thing there. Or you got Penn Relays and you see us beating. Or you're at the Reebok Grand Prix when Usain Bolt set the world record. You say, wow, right here in New York City. A little yard man, a man from the Caribbean. Or when Mr. Walcott from Trinidad got the first world championship record for javelin, you say, wow. So you say, well, you come here, you learn all these things, but you go back home now and help your brother. But as you're doing so, there's also an entrepreneurial aspect to it, because of the opportunities to create wealth as well.
So speaking about Jamaica, let's change gear and talk about immigration service. Because now they have that proposal of if you commit a crime and you get deported, they're looking to deport your family member with you.
You see, that's the explanation that it's not really so. Okay. Unless the basis by which you got your immigration benefits and then went on to provide it to other family members, and they have no what's called a derivative effect. So it's like a domino effect. You hit one, everything comes tumbling down. There will be a legitimate connection.
Okay.
All right. And one thing we want to say to our community, because immigration is part of our culture.
Yes.
we did not leave our shores because the beaches are better here, right?
Right.
We know
We
that.
get beach. We did it.
We know that
We
one.
did it for
Opportunity,
opportunity.
opportunity, all right? And for many of us who are immigration challenged, and this is a very passionate subject for me, immigration challenge. I don't use terms to call my people illegal or stuff like that. Immigration challenge. I want to just categorically say right now, if people are watching and listening to us right now, and you're facing immigration challenges, understand that unless you have a child who is a citizen and over 21 years old, unless you have a spouse or you're fallen over, I should say, and got married to a United States citizen, there are no other ways you can address your status right now. So anybody come with any kind of humble jumbo and things that they have this idea that something can happen, unless there's a light shining down from you and you're that guy coming from Damascus and God was talking to you directly, you move away.
But not only that, because you may have a child or you may have a spouse, but you also have a criminal background.
Well, you see, I want to go this scenario here for your part here. 99% of us don't break the law.
Yes.
So I always try to subscribe to the 99%.
Exactly, yes.
Alright? Otherwise, we find ourselves, and this is no disrespect to those who, for whatever reasons, may have fallen that way. But we also have to understand that the majority of us are not in that. Alright? So when you hear, because otherwise then you'll be subscribing to the arguments of the Trumps and all those people where somehow immigrants are here as some aliens and all that kind of stuff.
Doing all these
Because I dare say if we should follow all the Caribbean folks off Flatbush Avenue for a day, it would be like a ghost town, right? So there's an economic vitality.
Well, but let's not even say Flatbush Avenue. Let's say in the businesses in Manhattan, because you'll be surprised sometimes you're walking in and you go to an office and there may be 10 different Caribbean persons in that office. So if the Caribbean, if immigrants, period, because this is not just about Caribbean. If immigrants was to not go to work one day, this entire economy.
But the world, America is built on immigrants.
But sometimes it seems like our politicians forget that.
Yes.
Especially, and when that really gets to the core of my heart is when it's politicians that are second generation of immigrants, or even third generation of immigrants. That is not that far
But as
away.
you mentioned Donald Trump,
But if you've listened over the years, it's not, I think most of the time they accept it. The only person we have a problem with is Mr. Trump.
No,
No.
Because I've listened and I'm sure
He's just a face that we're
you've
seeing
listened
right
to
now.
many of them and they would come out and tell you America is built on the
that's
backs
the
of
argument.
immigrants.
That's the argument.
And
But
politicians have said that.
yes, but look at their action now. Immigration is a wedge issue in this election. I'm not even certain that if and when we have another Democrat in the White House, that we'll have any passage for immigration
They
reform.
will never fix it because they always need this to run on.
Right, but you see, that's what I'm saying to you. So although they're saying that it's built on immigrants, they're
It's,
not really doing
it's
anything
something to run on. They're
to-
always going
to-
to have this immigration issue. And
So-
if some politician try to do something, it's not going to go over well. They don't want to fix it.
Can you discuss a little bit about the abuse and practices that are along with this proposal? And if anything, explain a little bit about this proposal that we are talking about.
All right. I gather what we're talking about now is that the president's initiative. Let's go because that's the most topical issue right now. Because outside of that, there is no other immigration reform that would benefit everyone here in this country. The president 2 years ago, last year by executive action, presented a situation where children born here who have parents who are undocumented and for some reason they are unable to adjust, and there are some technical reasons for that, that they would be qualified in essence for a work authorization which allows them to live, work, and be free from the threat of deportation. That would impact some 4 to 5 million people, we're told, a significant amount of people. It would also bring from the subterranean economy persons who have been living in the shadows, and in some cases contribute to the tax roll of cities in which they live in. So it's a good move for the United States. the day before it was supposed to be implemented, federal courts in Texas, which is of course the base for the anti-Obama presidencies, especially relates to immigration. They had got a stay from their circuit court. The good news is that we've been told now that, and as such, it has put it on hold. Okay. All right. And the whole idea here is an executive action, which you've heard all the presidential candidates on the Republican side saying that the first day in office,
What they're gonna undo.
Yeah, obviously, their first day in office will not be in this country. Let's hope so. Yeah. So, with that being said, in June, the Supreme Court has come out and said that it will have a decision on that executive order. There are many of us in the immigration field who are very optimistic, and if the decision does come down, we also recognize too that the mechanisms were already in place for its implementation. So it's just a matter of time, short turnaround before it gets started, because the whole idea here is to get it started whilst on the watch of President Barack Obama, so that at a minimum there's some relief, even though it could be short-lived. And then again, must remember what a person says on a campaign trail is not necessarily what he does because they want a different scenario. So all those scenarios. So we're looking forward to that, and like I said, it would impact, according to the estimates, some 45 million persons.
I just wanted to follow up on that for 1 minute. Being the fact that President Obama studied constitutional law, I would think, and if you look at all the presidential orders that he's actually put into place, none have actually been straightened down because of that fact. I personally am hoping, and based on what you just said, that that would also fall in that line, because
it's just that we live the political volatility that we live in kind of skews that to those guys, only because the way the Supreme Court is set up, that we do have a kind of tenuous balance. And although he has won some very good victories recently, those guys are still musing about that, and you never know. It's just like in a football game or basketball game, some guy gets a call for a foul and the referee wants to balance it out and call a foul the next time on the other guy. So that's part of it too. But we remain optimistic that this will so. But I want to touch on the piece of abuse. What our community must be cognizant of is to stay away from those persons. One thing is that the most money that leaves our communities through immigration services. Outside of us running to stores and shop. Right? Leaves our community. The argument is that for other ethnic groups like the Hispanic, like the Koreans, and probably even Hispanics know because of their presence politically and socially and economically, is that money stays in their community longer than it stays in people of color like us. We run to stores elsewhere and buy, and it doesn't stay in. The same thing with immigration. A lot of our immigration providers are of other communities. And it's unfortunate, and I've said this, and I say this with no disrespect, but Jews go to Jews, Italians go to Italians, Hispanics go to Hispanics, Haitians speak to Haitians because I speak Creole. Other Caribbean people and all black folks go to everybody except us.
Why couldn't?
No, hold on. We have professionals still. And understand that yes, we may not be the best there is, but if we do not develop a pattern of supporting ourselves and a legacy, what are we telling our children and who will support them? So I say this to folks, understand this. Immigration services today that so much money leaves our community, be mindful of those who come in and make all these kind of promises
that they cannot deliver on.
Right? And that's a serious situation to be mindful of.
But there is a lot of times, like within the Caribbean community, where they do come to our own, and a lot of times they become victims. So what would you actually say to that? How would they know that they're definitely with reputable?
Well, you see, it goes back down to your education, information. We have to have, no man is an island. We have to have persons who recognize that before you go buy a house or whatever. I can't even say that because we got into trouble with that. Before you make these kind of decisions, do your homework.
Do your due diligence.
So what about the ones that are not educated?
No,
That are trying to get
you either
their
go
way
to church.
into the
Wait,
country.
what are some? And I'm speaking.
Because
of-
it's both. Like,
I know, but
yeah.
it comes back down to there's no excuse not to do your homework in this country today. First of all, let me tell you this. This gadget you have here is the most powerful thing.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend on it noticing what everybody else is doing? You can use this to find out information as well.
But may I say something to that when you talk about information? It's the same thing I was saying. I've never heard of it.
And you
But
know it first, yes?
about the immigration services that our caller will offer, are they putting themselves out there?
Yeah, they are.
Because
They are.
what I will hear of is Brad.
No, but hold on, look at you say that. Because they are spending significant money to advertise.
How else will we know?
No, you know what that is?
That
Come
was
on,
the next
you-
thing I was gonna say. Is there a lot of the other people, for lack of a better term, they do a lot of outreach within our community. Like,
Exactly.
"Hey, you want free service, or you can meet us here, and we'll help you
Let me
out."
clarify that.
No.
They advertise.
Okay.
Which is not bad. Because we offer free services too. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about our people. Because here it is. Every Sunday and Saturday, 65% of our people are where?
In church.
What has been said in church?
And guess what?
They offer it.
You hear about Brad in church.
No. I'm just saying to you.
I learned about Brad Bernstein in church.
So whose responsibility is that?
The pastor.
I'm just saying to you that.
So when the pastor, so you want the pastor to talk about immigration service?
Yes, they are. Because right now, let me share
but it
something with
affects
you.
the community.
Let me share
It
some with you
affects
guys.
the community that
You
we
guys
serve in.
sitting there hearing this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what are you saying to your pastor?
No, because I am saying if I know, like, last year sometime, I took somebody to my church
Yeah.
to talk about immigration. And she helped a lot of people there.
Okay.
But she's not an African American
And
or
you
a
couldn't find
Jamaican.
it. You couldn't find
No, because this is,
really? Then what kind of research did you do?
because it's either her
did
or
you check-
Brad.
I think there's
Anybody.
I think there's really a stigma. There's a stigma on
Thank you very much.
There's
Yeah,
a
if
stigma,
I
and
hear
that's the
of
reason
my
why.
black attorney,
Yeah.
I will. But all I've heard of is Brad, and then I met this
But what are some methods
younger
that we can
person.
use to put ourselves out there that we don't
Okay.
know?
Let me tell you what it is. Do we join organizations?
Yes,
Yes.
some of us.
Yes.
such
Okay.
as
Community-based organizations, whether it be alumni associations, church organizations, your friends from this district, giving back to the community.
I mean a lot of it, but again, it's
Okay.
not Caribbean.
Well,
Because I
good.
don't know of any.
But there you go. Then let's try because then I don't think you are doing sufficient due diligence to search out Caribbean professionals.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's what I
yes.
said to that.
I would have to agree with you.
That's what I said to that.
Not even 5%, but 100%.
Let me tell you, we have some Caribbean officials here in this city that is running the city
Yes.
at
Yes,
all
they are.
levels.
And guess what? And if you introduce me to them, I'm all in.
No, but I'm saying for you not to know
No.
that you are not doing
Yeah.
proper due
But
diligence.
then it goes back to for people who are like,
Yeah.
Are they?
Yes.
Yes.
what can we do to
To
educate them or open their eyes a little bit? We're not saying your eyes aren't open, but let's just say there's not an outlet available for her.
But there's some.
But
but
there
there-
are
Or where
Like,
can they go? What's
Like,
on
where can
the
they go? Like, is
Okay,
there social
okay,
media?
okay,
Is
okay,
there
let me
a
ask this.
store?
Let's start with the basic. You read Caribbean Life?
Yes.
You read the Jamaican Gleaner?
Yes.
Okay.
I read the Jamaican Gleaner and I read the Observer, but I don't read the Caribbean Life.
Okay. We're talking local newspapers. here.
Right. And
Can I believe that? I
Caribbean
believe
Life give you a
local,
lot
you have to-
I'm not promoting
information.
Yeah.
Caribbean Life.
Yes.
Caribbean, Carib News, Daylight. I could go on and on. What's up? Where is
ITV.
that? Hype News. I could go on, and they are in our stores. You're not gonna find them on Fifth Avenue.
Yes.
And let's understand that.
So
They're in
maybe,
our
They're in the
stores.
Caribbean
so
stores.
maybe the issue is,
Yeah.
Advertising.
no,
Okay.
hold on, no, you missed what he just said.
All right. So. All
Okay,
right.
wait,
So.
hold on 1 second. Let's just get this key point, because she said about how to get the information,
Yeah.
and he said it's in our stores.
Yes.
Maybe,
Or Caribbean stores.
hold on, no, hold
You
on,
go
hold
Golden
on,
Cross.
no, hold on. The
Okay.
point I wanted to make is maybe she's not visiting our stores. And people
And the
like
support is not
Arlene
there.
is not visiting our
Yeah.
stores, that's why they're not aware. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you see, in all fairness to you, and it's not picking on, I think the information.
It's okay, you can pick on me.
Oh, I love it. but what it does, it helps to highlight and to showcase to others what some of the
Morals and
the challenges that we have.
Yeah.
And to go back to your question, for respective Caribbean islands, your consulates, you go there for your passports. You know where they are. All right. Your consulates, your church, your social organizations, the newspapers you read. These are, and the radio stations you listen to. Yes, you'll hear all the other guys advertising it, but we also have local programming. I host 2 programs on Ira Jam. I don't have any of those guys advertising in my time slot. Why? Because we have a situation here where we're promoting Caribbean-oriented business. That's just the slant we have.
What
And I think people should know that. Yeah, they should know that.
If you just learn about Ira Jam
today.
22 years
Yes.
in New York City. It's a platform for radio in the United States. So you are a separate subject. You're not
But now Arlene is
Doesn't mean
aware
you're
of
a bad
it.
person.
No, you're not aware now.
captured you.
Yes.
But I have one last thing. Okay, before you came, we had a discussion about the immigrants being deported, and in certain cases, when they get back to their home country, they've been up here since they're 1 year or 18 months or so forth. They don't know anything about their countries. What are programs available, or what kind of assistance is available?
Okay.
Let's say Jamaica, for those kind of people.
There are organizations like Fury. Ms. Alvaranga is one such person who provides a repatriation, because in essence it is the law of the land. They broke the law. The Anti-Immigration Act of 1996 causes that kind of retroactive deportation. The situations where your crimes committed then can cause you to be deported. So it comes up back to community-based organizations here, working with community-based organizations in Jamaica, because it is not a situation where you're going to expect government intervention.
Yes.
The United States says you come in and break the law, this is what happens. That's the law.
Yes.
So until we change that law, it will happen. All right? And yes, the humanitarian situation, you don't know anybody back there.
It's up to you, right?
Yes, you see, but we do have intervention groups, like I mentioned, whether it be the Salvation Army back home, Fury, other groups that helps to help folks back into the city. Is it sufficient? No, never sufficient. But at the same token, though, I think what groups here can do, and families, this is where it comes out downtown, and people, that's why I always encourage people, it's important to find an organization and become a member of it. Because when you have these kind of situations, you can at least have a community organization, a support base behind you.
Yeah.
So whether it be a church or something of the sort, don't now wait, Lord, I have nobody to start running around. You're not going to get no support here. This country is not built like that. No one person is an island.
Yeah.
You have to be part of something.
Yeah.
You have to be part of something.
Thank you so much. We are a little bit out of time here. Is there, again, can you just repeat where your office is located?
Sure. We're located in 243, is it 242-14 Merritt Boulevard in Rosedale, Queens. But one thing I want to leave the group with here, uncensored, in a censored manner, uncensoredly, is this, that support our athletes. When our athletes do well in this country, we are happy as pig in doodle. All right? But not only that, it's an Olympic year. And when you support an athlete coming up here, it could be that athlete who makes it to represent his or her country. And we're talking about athletes from Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. So Team Jamaica Big is an organization that supports our athletes, and we're asking for your support. Visit our website, teamjamaicabiku.org. That's teamjamaicabiku.org. Make a difference, because when you do that, you are supporting an individual who will now become a global ambassador.
Well said.
Thank you, Mr. Clare.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
It's a pleasure.
Where are you from?
I'm from America.
Yeah,
I come from St. Vincent.
man.
Can you say uncensored? But of course, I want you guys to just keep it where you have it. We'll be right back. Hi, and welcome back. Up next, we have in studio internet sensation Prince Charming and Bad Gal Die. And of course, you know the world wants to know, are they dating? So we're gonna be chopping it up. So I want you guys to just keep it where you have it. We'll be right back.
One of you guys are doing skits together then.
You know, one day she saw one of my selfies. She was like, oh my god, he's so
I
hot.
came up with the idea. And actually, like, before we became friends, I was like, ooh, this dude is like so corny, like, you know what I'm saying? But then
Then you broke him up.